How's it going, everyone? It's Kevin, movie collector maniac. I've been away for a little while. I've been taking some time off. I have been buying movies though, so I'll show you what I picked up from deepdiscount.com first, and then I think I'll have to do a separate video to do the rest of them. Most of my purchases have came from deepdiscount.com, mainly because they have codes you can use for 10 to 15% off. It seems like they had pretty much better deals here lately, but I have purchased some other stuff from Amazon, Groove, Walmart, and one order from HamiltonBook.com, and of course the Criterion Collection. I think these are the ones I bought actually from Criterion when they had the flash sale going on, so it's definitely been a while. And of course, Arrow Video and Shop Factory. I got a few items from them. Anyway, let me show you what I picked up from DeepDiscount.com. Alright, the first one I picked up is Almost Famous on 4K. This is the upgrade from a Blu-ray that I had. And of course, it's got a 7.9 on IMDb. I don't know if I've seen this movie before or not. I might have just seen bits and pieces of it. I don't think I've seen the whole thing in this movie. Of course, it stars Frances McDormand, Kate Hudson, Jason Lee, Zoe Deschanel, Billy Crudup, got Anna Paquin, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Alright, second one I got is Catwoman with Halle Berry. I did upgrade my DVD to Blu-ray. I know this is not a great movie, but Halle Berry in leather, so. But yes, it's got a wonderful 3.4 on IMDb. You also have Benjamin Bratt, Sharon Stone, and Peter Wingfield. You might know him from Highlander, the TV series. But yeah, I mainly got it for Halle Berry. It'd be my Halle Berry collection. So, alright, next one I got is this Blu-ray Steelbook of Chicago. I did previously own this on regular Blu-ray, but I decided to go ahead and get the Steelbook because it was pretty cheap. And this movie got a 7.2 on IMDb. Of course, it stars Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger. You got John C. Reilly. I don't know why it's not showing Richard Gere. Am I missing his name somewhere? I don't see it. For some reason, I don't see his name for some reason. But anyway, Richard Gere's in there as well. Yeah, I got it for like $5.81. So, alright, next one I got is this movie called The Claim. This one's from Kino Lorber. It's got a 6.3 on IMDb. I did own this on my digital collection, so went ahead and got this Blu-ray. Of course, they might release a 4K later on. Never know with Kino Lorber. Anyway, it's a pretty good little western. It's got Wes Bentley. You might know him from Yellowstone. And then you got Mila Jovovich, of course. Those are really the only two actors that I remember on there. But like I said, I watched this on my Voodoo or Fandango at home, whatever they call it now. But yeah, looking forward to watching the Blu-ray though. Alright, next one I got is The Doors on 4K. This one did come with a slipcover. Same artwork underneath, but this one's got a 7.2 on IMDb. Of course, it stars Val Kilmer. You got Meg Ryan, Kyle MacLachlan, got Kevin Dillon, Michael Madsen. Rest in peace. He just passed away, unfortunately. And then we got Billy Idol, got Wes Studi, and Kelly Hugh. Those are about the only ones I recognize on here. Alright, next we have this movie Eureka. This one's on Blu-ray. Of course, you can see it stars Gene Hackman. Got Rutger Hauer in here as well, and Mickey Rourke. I also have Ed Lauter and Joe Pesci. I did end up watching that movie not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. It's definitely a weird movie. It has some pretty good parts in it, I guess. But it's definitely a weird movie. But it's got a 5.9 on IMDb. Mainly got it for my Gene Hackman collection. Plus, I've never seen this movie before, so I wanted to check it out. Alright, next one is this movie called French Kiss on Blu-ray. Of course, it stars Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. You also have Timothy Hutton. You got John Reno. Yeah, I just recently watched this one with my mom. I took a few movies over to see if she wanted to watch any movies, and she picked this one out. So we went ahead and watched this one. But it's a pretty decent little rom-com, I guess. Alright, next one I got is this comedy double feature with Funny Farm and Spies Like Us. Of course, you got Chevy Chase in both of these. And I just recently watched Funny Farm the other day. I started watching Spies Like Us, I think last night, but it was late at night and I ended up falling asleep. So I'll have to rewatch that one. At least start where thought I fell asleep at. But yeah, Funny Farm's got a 6.2 on IMDb, which is probably about what I give it, about a 6. And Spies Like Us, it comes in at 6.4. Of course, you got Dan Aykroyd in this one as well. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd also wrote this movie, directed by John Landis. Alright, next one is Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man on Blu-ray. As you can see, it stars Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson. This is another one I recently rewatched not too long ago. But yeah, it comes in at 6.1 on IMDb. It also stars Daniel Baldwin and Giancarlo Esposito. Also have the lovely Vanessa Williams in here. And also Tia Carrere. So 2 lovely women in here. But it's a pretty good little 90s action movie. Alright, next one I got is this 2 spaghetti western classics on 4K from Kino Lorber. It does come with a slipcover. I haven't opened this one up yet, but I'll probably watch it pretty soon. But yeah, the Hellbenders comes in at 6.7 on IMDb. Of course, these are both westerns. I don't remember if I recognize any actors in this one. Yeah, I don't really know any actors in that one. The second one is called Kill Them All and Come Back Alone. It's got a 6.2 on IMDb. Of course, this one stars Chuck Connors. You might know him from The Rifleman TV series. Great Western TV series if you hadn't seen it before. Alright, next one I got is this Hot Pursuit on Blu-ray. Does come with a slipcover, but same artwork underneath. Of course, you can see it stars John Cusack. So that'll be going in my John Cusack collection. Let's see, you also have Robert Loggia. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Loggia. Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's dad. And also Ben Stiller's in this movie. You also have Keith David. And that's about it for that. Of course, that came out in 1987. That's another one I'm probably going to watch pretty soon. But yeah, 5.7 on IMDb. Alright, upgraded one of my John Wayne movies from DVD to Blu-ray. It's called In Harm's Way. Also stars Kirk Douglas. I showed my dad this one, and he said he'd like to watch that one, so we'll probably be watching that one pretty soon together. But it's got a 7.3 on IMDb. Of course, it came out in 1965. Let's see, you also have Carroll O'Connor. You might know him from TV. And you also have Slim Pickens. And then you got George Kennedy. You also have Larry Hagman. Of course, you probably know him from TV, especially Dallas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that with my dad. Alright, next one I got is in Irreconcilable Differences. As you can see, it's got a young Drew Barrymore. Came out in 1984. It also stars Ryan O'Neal and Shelley Long playing her parents. You also have Sharon Stone in this movie. David Paymer. But yeah, basically got that one from my Drew Barrymore collection. Haven't seen this movie before. It's got a 5.8 on IMDb, so it should be a decent movie. Alright, so I did upgrade my Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, to 4K. Of course, this one's from Arrow Video. Doesn't have a great IMDb rating of only 4.1, but I like all the Jason movies, Friday the 13th movies. Of course, you got Kane Hodder playing Jason Voorhees. And I did pick up Jason X on 4K from Arrow Video as well. I've yet to open those two up to watch them. And that one comes in at 4.5 on IMDb. Of course, you got Kane Hodder playing Jason again. Alright, so I did pick up Kingdom of Heaven on the 4K Steelbook. Thought I missed out on this one, but they had it as a back order on deepdiscount.com. So I went ahead and placed an order, and I'm glad they made some more of these or found some more or whatever. But I'm glad I was able to pick that up. Looking forward to watching in the 4K. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. I did own this on Blu-ray, so an upgrade. Of course, it stars Liam Neeson. You got Orlando Bloom, Brendan Gleeson, got Jeremy Irons, Edward Norton, Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Of course, you know him from Game of Thrones. Got Eva Green. Alright, next one is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is on Blu-ray. I upgraded my DVD that I had this movie. And I did rewatch this one fairly recently. And it comes in at 7.5 on IMDb. Of course, it stars Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. Not sure why they got everybody's name twice on here, but you also have Michelle Monaghan, Corbin Burnson, Larry Miller. Of course, it's directed and written by Shane Black, one of his better written movies, of course. But he does have some pretty decent movies he's written, some not so much. Alright, next one I got is A Knight's Tale on a 4K Steelbook. This is another one that I had to order. I think it might have been on back order, I can't remember. But I did order it and was glad to get this in as well. And they did ship those in a box, so I'm happy for that. So they didn't get damaged. This one has a score of 7.0 on IMDb. Of course, it came out in 2001. Of course, it stars Heath Ledger. You got Paul Bettany. You got Alan Tudyk. But yeah, it's a great little medieval time knights type movie. If you haven't seen it before, but I'm sure most people have. Alright, next I have The Last American Virgin. This is a Blu-ray from MVD. That's another one I just recently rewatched. It does have a score of 6.3 on IMDb. Pretty good little movie from the 80s, from 1982. Diane Franklin is the main girl character, and she does have a little bit of nudity in this movie. Of course, when I was growing up, I probably saw the TV version, so I didn't get to see any of that nudity on TV. Alright, next we have another John Wayne movie called McHugh. This one is a Blu-ray. I did have this on DVD, so upgrade to a Blu-ray. But yeah, it's got a 6.2 on IMDb. And this is not a Western with John Wayne, but he does play a police lieutenant. One of the few John Wayne movies I haven't seen yet. Alright, next one is Messenger of Death. This one's a Blu-ray. Of course, you can see it stars Charles Bronson. It says the vigilante is back with a vengeance. He didn't really do much vigilante stuff in this one movie, so it's kind of a false claim to me. It was an okay movie. 5.4, that's probably about where it needs to be. But yeah, I just got to check it out and add to my Charles Bronson collection. Alright, next one is called Outland. This one's from 1981. It's got a 6.6 on IMDb. It is a pretty cool sci-fi film. Of course, you can see it stars Sean Connery. You also have John Ratzenberger. Of course, you might know him from Cheers. He does do a lot of voices for animated films as well. You got Peter Boyle. Alright, so I did pick up the most recent release of Outlander. This is season 7. I think they're making one last season. It's a great TV series if you hadn't seen it. It's about, of course, it has some fantasy and sci-fi type stuff to it, but it's about the Revolutionary War going on, and before the Revolutionary War, of course, was it Claire? I think her name is. Yeah, Claire. Claire and some of her family members are able to travel through a gateway into different times using stones. But it's a great TV series if you haven't seen it. It comes on Stars TV. As you can see, it's got a great score of 8.3 on IMDb. Of course, it's got some romance. It's got nudity, of course. It's got some nudity you probably don't want to see. But yeah, it stars Catriona Balfe as Claire Fraser. Of course, you got Sam Hugan as Jamie Fraser. Those are the two main characters. Sophie Skelton plays her daughter, or their daughter. But yeah, like I say, it's a great TV series. I'm not sure if it might be on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix. Most seasons, probably. Alright, next one I have is called A Perfect Murder. This one's from 1998. Got a 6.6 on IMDb. Of course, it stars Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Viggo Mortensen. It's a great little crime drama thriller. If you haven't seen it before, it's a pretty good little movie. Just recently rewatched this one. Been a long time since I've seen it, so it's almost like watching it for the first time, basically, because I didn't remember too much about it. Alright, next one is called Posse. This one's from 1975. Got a 6.5 on IMDb. As you can see, it came with a slipcover. This one's from Kino Lorber. Of course, they'll probably release a 4K now that I bought this one. But as you can see, it stars Kirk Douglas and Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern is pretty funny in this movie. You also have Bo Hopkins. But yeah, it's also directed by Kirk Douglas. Me and my dad ended up watching that one not too long ago, and we enjoyed it. Alright, next I got this movie called Shane on Blu-ray. Of course, not too long after I bought this one, they announced a 4K. So I should have waited on that one. But it's a good little Western from 1953. It's got a 7.6. And yeah, it's about close to where I would put it. I'd probably put it at 8. But yeah, it stars Alan Ladd. And it's got Jack Palance and Ben Johnson. Yeah, I ended up watching this one with my dad. He said he hadn't seen it in quite a long time. And I've never seen it before. But yeah, it's a really good Western. I might end up get the 4K sooner or later. Alright, next movie called Sharky's Machine. As you can see, it's got Burt Reynolds in it. It's a Blu-ray. I don't think I own this on DVD or even my digital collection. But yeah, it's also directed by Burt Reynolds. It does have Charles Durning in it. But yeah, it's from 1981. It's got a 6.3 on IMDb. Alright, I did end up picking up the 4K Steelbook of Stripes. I did on the previous 4K version from the Sony Classics 4K box set, or Columbia Pictures Classics, whatever it was called. But yeah, it's got Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, directed by Ivan Reitman. Got Sean Young, John Candy, and John Larroquette. You also have Judge Reinhold in this one as well. But yeah, I mainly got it because this one has Dolby Vision. Plus, I like Steelbooks, so went ahead and picked this one up. Alright, next one is called The Sure Thing. This one's from 1985. It's got a 7.0 on IMDb. As you can see, it stars John Cusack, so this will be going into my John Cusack collection. You also have Daphne Zuniga, Anthony Edwards. You got Tim Robbins, Nicolette Sheraton, and it's directed by Rob Reiner. I'll probably end up watching this one pretty soon. I've had it near my player recently, so I'll probably pop it in one of these days soon. Alright, next we have Swordfish. That's the Arrow Video 4K. It does star John Travolta, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Don Cheadle, Sam Shepard. You got Vinnie Jones. But yeah, it's one I haven't seen in quite a while. Came out in 2001. It's got a 6.5 on IMDb. Alright, next is one of my favorite movies, especially my favorite Western. It's in my top 10 of favorite movies. I think it might be number 3 on my list, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's Tombstone from 1993. It's got a 7.8 on IMDb. Of course, I give it a 10. One of my favorite movies. So, very quotable lines in this one. I can pretty much memorize what everybody says in this one. I've seen people react to this movie as well, so I've seen reaction videos this one. And of course it stars Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. He pretty much steals the show in this one. And you got Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton, Powers Booth. You got Michael Behan, Charlton Heston, Jason Priestley, Stephen Lang, Thomas Hayden Church. You got Dan Delaney. You got Michael Rooker. And you got Billy Bob Thornton. A lot of people didn't recognize him in this movie, but he's got a very recognizable voice, so they should recognize it from from his voice. And you also have Billy Zane. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's the guy from Titanic." When they see him, great western. I really enjoyed this movie. I remember my dad taking me to watch this one in the theaters. I think it might have been around my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. But I almost missed out on this one. I almost waited too late to buy this one. Like it went out of stock as soon as, like, probably the next day or two after I bought it. But I ended up getting it for $39.42. So it's not too bad of a deal. Alright, next one is called Uncommon Valor. This one came out in 1983. Got a 6.3. And this is another one as soon as I bought it. The 4K was announced. So you can thank me for this one and Shane, I guess. But yeah, I got it for upgrading my DVD that I had this movie. And part of my Gene Hackman collection. And also Patrick Swayze. You also have Robert Stack, Fred Ward, Randall Tex Cobb. Alright, next one I got is called Villa Rides. This is another Western from 1968. Got a 6.3 on IMDb. Stars Yul Brynner. You got Robert Mitchum. And you also have Charles Bronson. That's one of the reasons I bought it, because I put it in my Charles Bronson collection. As you can see, it also has his wife, Joe Ireland, in it. They're in lots of movies together. It seems like he must have something in his contract where she has to star in a movie when he's in it. Seems like. But yeah, I haven't opened that one up yet and watched it. But I'm looking forward to watching that one. Me and my dad will probably watch that one pretty soon. Alright, next one is Who Framed Roger Rabbit on 4K. Alright, this movie came out in 1988. It's got a 7.7 on IMDb. This is one that I thought I had purchased before on 4K. Because I ended up selling my Blu-ray of this movie. So I'm pretty sure I thought I had it on 4K, but I'm still unable to find it. So I don't know if it disappeared or it's hiding somewhere in my collection that I haven't been able to find it yet. But anyway, it stars Bob Hoskins. You got Christopher Lloyd. And it's directed by Robert Zemeckis. It's also produced by Steven Spielberg. But I remember watching this several times growing up on TV. So I've seen it tons of times. But I've yet to watch the 4K. Alright, next one I got is this Sean Connery 6-film collection of him playing 007, James Bond. And I got a good deal on this one. I'm sad that I missed out on the steelbook set. It looked like it was a pretty good, cool looking steelbook set, but got a good deal on this one. Alright, first movie, Dr. No from 1962. It's got a 7.2 on IMDb. Then you got From Russia with Love, 1963, 7.3. You got Goldfinger from 1964. It's got a 7.7. Then you got Thunderball from 1965. It's got a 6.9. You Only Live Twice from 1967. It's got a 6.8. And the last one is Diamonds Are Forever from 1971. It's got a 6.5 on IMDb. And I ended up getting it for, I think it was $99.99, but I got the 15% off. So I got it for about $85. It comes out to like $14.17 per movie. So $14.17 times 6. Alright, so that's all my recent pickups from deepdiscount.com. Like I said, it's probably been a good couple months since I did a video. So several months worth of pickups from deepdiscount.com. I do have to make a video with my other ones I picked up, but from different other retailers. So look forward to watching that one pretty soon. Hopefully I can get that one recorded and out pretty soon. But anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next video.